I'm Zach and welcome back to another brand new video. Now, I know what you might be thinking, we're on the Scuff Survival server. Well, actually, yeah, but kinda not. I am back on this fancy little world here, and if you've seen episode number 5 or episode number 4 of my scuffedmc survival series, if you haven't, don't worry, there'll be a link to those in the top right hand side. In fact, I'll be generous and I'll put a link to the entire playlist there. Now, how good is that? But today what we're going to be doing, and yes, this is a Christmas skin, I do have the hat and everything. The plan is we're just going to be taking a little look around here because I don't think I covered it enough in the videos, and I thought, you know, perhaps you might want to see what this place actually looks like and like a proper in-depth tour of my little competition and my little competitive build thing, which actually did well and got somewhat of a prize in the Scuffed Survival Building series. I've been able to get this world thanks to the kind generosity of one of the admins of the server who has kindly made a copy of this world where I had everything built and was able to send it to me for videos like this, and just so I could have a little bit of a backup in case anything ever went awry. So a huge thank you to Blaster. You know who you are if you watch this video. Thank you very much for sending me this over and for allowing me to make this video. It's fantastic. Basically, nothing's changed since the actual build, and if you want to go onto the server and see this for yourself, well, go for it. That's all I can say. So, as we can see here, final placing is 3rd. The theme of it was fantasy, so I built a fantasy village, hence the name just there, a game of two worlds. I could have chosen a better name, honestly thinking about it, but oh well, I was in a rush and it was quite late at night. Oh well. Oh hey look, it's me. So I think the first thing that we're going to explore would be this house. Well, this kind of house anyway. I styled this sort of so it's more medieval, sort of like castle ruins type that's been converted or something. At least I believe that was the idea when I thought of it. Then down here we have everybody's favourite design. If you've seen the original video, you will know this was a little bit of a pain, and we also had quite a fair few issues of this behind the scenes too. Long story short, because of all that, nobody could put nether portals in a creative world. Up here there really wasn't much. I could have put like something here, but I just chose not to in my infinite wisdom for some reason. And this was also the first part of the plot that I actually built. I started off with this down here, these little mix of podzol and whatever these other two are. Wait, hang on, what are they? Waltz Nylium and Crimson Nylium. Cool, used those once, never again probably. And then of course we have like a little book here of our placing a 3rd and a total score of 25.5. Moving on from this first bit of the build, I decided there should be a path that goes along, and that is where this bit came into play. And also, I believe it was this piece that led off all the way down there. Now, if we go down to the edge of there, don't worry, I'll come back to all this in a minute. If we go all the way down here, first you'll see there's a park over here, which is very fancy if you ask me. And then over here, you'll see there was this. Now, my thinking for this was like abandoned ruins or abandoned castle or something. It was originally going to be all done, dusted and sorted and be like all functioning and whatnot, but I decided the ruined look was a little bit better, so that's what I went with. Also, you can see this is still left over from where I had welded it, where I put this whole thing together. Believe me, it was tricky. I think the thing that sealed the deal with this, and I said it in the video, the thing that sealed it, was probably this massive tree in the background. Because, you know, something like that. I mean, come on. Does that not look interesting? Look at that. Honestly, I like it. So much so I've got a screenshot of it and might use it in the thumbnail. Who knows? So going back along this path and then heading back out to here, you'll see we have some brightly coloured houses. Those are just to put in some effect and make it sort of a bit more bright and less dull, unlike this big grey monolith over here. You know, fantasy village, so anything could happen. Also, hey look. Hello there. I forgot I put that there. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, if you go inside these houses, I literally didn't build anything in here. I literally just had like some bits up here where I could place a campfire to get the chimney effect, and that was about it. That's literally all that was in there, just a campfire and nothing else. That's how I did these effects, just coming out the chimney. And then I repeated it 4 more times. This bit was tricky because I wanted to have like more of a cliff face and whatnot. I've used the term and whatnot a lot in this video, but oh well, there's not really much else I can use to describe this, but okay. Anyway, so this was inspired because I wanted to have some kind of mound or mountain or something over here. So that's just what I did really. I spent a while placing out the layers of stone going all around the build, and then just brought them up one by one gradually with the weld edit until I got to a height that I was happy with, and then I covered the entire lot of it in dirt and grass blocks just so I could get this bit along the top where I built all of this lot, which we'll get onto very shortly. But first I want to acknowledge something that I was very proud of, and no, it's not this park type thing here, although it does look pretty cool, I will admit. Although, to be fair, I am biased, I was the one that built it. Okay, so in here it says turn brightness down for maximum effect, and that should be at brightness moody, so we shall bring that all the way down here. Ooh, spooky. And this is the ravine people around me. This was a bit that I was really proud of, because I spent ages trying to make this look just right. Now, as Optifine, it doesn't exactly look as good, because, well, these, I really should do something about it. But walking through here, this was like the effect I wanted to give. It's a bit of a sort of underground civilization that's been kind of forgotten about, I guess. Like those that just sort of live down here in peace and no one's disturbed them. Hence why they've been able to build all of this stuff. And then of course this little abandoned looking rundown house was just for show because I thought, you know, we've got a load of nicely built stuff over here. Why not have just like a little ruined thing at the end of here, just because it looked cool. And honestly, I still think it looks cool the way I've done this, and I'm very happy with it. This was also the bit I'm really proud of, this little like Torii gate, or Shinto gate, however you wish to say it. I'm going to have to double check that, and I might put whatever it's actually called just above the screen in editing about now. Okay, so here's something I thought of that's probably a little easier, and that is using spectator mode. But who'd have thought all of that was hidden away in here? Like, isn't that something else? Honestly, I was kind of proud of getting that whole thing set up. It goes all the way through here, right to the edge here. It's brilliant. And over here, I wanted just to have something here. I didn't want to build another house because I thought, you know, there's plenty of stuff down there. There's a house over there. There's plenty of houses all the way just over there. You can just about see just all the way in the distance. I didn't want to put another one here because I thought that would have been too much. So instead, I put this awning endless void. It's not exactly endless, and if you go all the way down, you can see it's just coloured glass the entire way down. And I think I missed a couple blocks in that. Oops. But it goes all the way down just to lava down here because I couldn't actually break through to the void down here, which is a bit of a shame, but oh, there wasn't really that much I could do. My powers were limited, what can I say? Honestly, I'm very glad that they let us use weld edit for this, because otherwise building all of this up would have been quite the pain. While I think about it, I should just go and turn the brightness back up to bright, just so we can see everything a bit better. Now, of course, this is a direct copy of the build world, so everybody else's builds that we're doing that competition would be here too, including this ginormous tank for some reason. And also this one over to the side of me, which was my personal favourite of the entire thing, because it's kind of themed around, I guess, Oriental Japan. And I was quite happy with it. Like, I didn't build it, but the person that did it, I approve of the build. Well done. Down here was meant to be like a proper path that led to something. I was going to build like a car park for the beach out here, but that didn't really happen, so we ran very close to time. And I believe if I go through here, yeah, this was just made empty and there's nothing in here. Over here was a fantasy style sandcastle. Sadly it wasn't big enough, otherwise I probably would have built an entire sand castle in here, because hey, that would have looked cool, do you think? Going along here was, of course, where we started off today's video, but it's like a little beach area. I thought, you know, there was a lot of greenery and a lot of God knows what over there, but I thought, why not have some coastline to it as well? So that's why I added. And the way I made it connect was via this handy little thing down here, which is just like a little bit of a waterfall that led all the way through this tunnel and out to form this kind of ocean-like area. This bit was very tricky to do, but I managed to make it look like there were people in the boats. If you want to know how to do that, do be sure to let me know in the comments, as well as anything else that you've seen that you want to know how to do for this video. Let me know that in the comments too. Who knows, I might turn them into future videos themselves. And now, wouldn't that be cool? And you can say you were the one that suggested it. Over here was quite simple to do. It was a case of just putting a lot of stairs and just building in. Honestly, it was quite tedious to place everything, but I am happy with how it turned out because it gives it some texture and depth and makes it look like the cliffside over this side has eroded away quite a bit, or just a little in some spaces. This one I wanted to make look symmetrical because I just wanted to make it look good. You know, you've got a tunnel through the middle, pillars either side, I wanted it to look symmetrical, and honestly, I'm very happy with the result. Over here, because, you know, it's a beach and you can't have a beach without these, sun loungers and a sun on beach umbrella. And of course, a miniature sandcastle down here too. Because we have the massive one all the way down there. If you're lucky, you can just about see it. And then I wanted to have this one over here too, because, well, why not? You go to a beach, you build a sandcastle, right? Or is that just me? Now, going through to the inside of here, this was never really sort of meant to be a part of the composition, but there is a way to get into here on the actual plot world. And that is right here, where it says warning cave, do not enter, or do. It's up to you. You would go down through here, you go through here, trying to navigate this in spectator mode is a pain. But this is like a little bit of a parkour course with multiple different ways that you could go, and it takes you all the way down to here where you put your time in. I can't remember what my time was though, so I'm just going to go put myself back into creative mode for a second, because I want to have a look. Okay, so apparently I didn't actually log a time. Oops, I should have done that. If you want to see me try and complete this entire parkour course, once again, do let me know in the comments. I know there's a lot of stuff that I'm asking you to let me know in the comments, but I need your feedback for stuff like this, because otherwise I don't know what videos to make. Now up on the top here, I just had like this little house because I wanted something up here that sort of draws the eye from down here, because let's face it, if there was nothing there, you wouldn't think to look up there. But if you do look up there from down here, you do get this rather nice view of a load of clouds, some trees. You get a house over here, you get the house with a little bit of a farm too. Inside the house there was also a bit of interior. There wasn't that much because I didn't really think people would actually look in here, and I don't think they did. And then moving up, I love being in spectator mode so I can just do that. Moving up here we do have like a little bit of a bedroom as well. As you can see, there was an attic but nothing was put in here because, well, I didn't need to. But I built this just so you can have like this view of standing at the window and then just looking down on the little bit of coast. One thing that I don't think I showed in the video was this little bridge that I did create afterwards, just because it looked good. There's literally no other reason. But it was added just for the fact that it's something you can walk onto the plot with, so it's like a second official entrance and exit of this, if you will. Going through here, this is like what was through just the middle of it. I don't really have much to say about this apart from it's just here, I guess. Also, do you like it with the F1 mode where you don't see the hand and stuff in the corner, and the cinematic camera where I can do all the smooth looking around and whatnot? Or do you like it like this where I can just directly point at something and go, that's over there, that's over there? Do tell me what's better, because that would be fantastic. Something that I am really proud of up here is this kind of lighthouse beacon thing with rotating lights, and that's the first time I did server-side redstone, and for some reason it actually works. So if I just go ahead and find where to get into this thing, which I think is just here, you will see this is the redstone I was using. It's just a constantly repeating clock powering all of these blocks, the power and unpower redstone torches, powering the blocks above, powering another set of redstone torches, powering redstone lamps. It's all very simple, but it does sound complicated and it does give a very nice effect. Moving on up here and going back into cinematic camera to show this one off because, well, why not? There's this nice little plane up here. A fun fact, this plane took me about an hour to make because I was trying to remember how to build planes, and then I just gave up, put a few blocks together, and somehow it worked and we have this. I did also make a video on how to build a plane in Minecraft, but that was my old 360 design, and if you want to see a video of how to make this design, let me know. Honestly, I'm very proud of this, and from this angle it looks fantastic. I mean, look at that. Now, does that look like a fantasy village that you'd want to go to? Because it sure does to me. Now, moving on to the big thing up here, and probably a lot of you are either bored and clicked off the video by now, or you're sat here wondering, why is this rainbow here? No, I'm not remaking Rainbow Road, although to be fair, it does look a bit like it. Maybe that should be a future project, who knows. But this is just because I wanted something to add to the detail, because I felt like there was nothing much up in the sky up here, and it was a bit bland and boring, so I thought, you know, add a rainbow in, nice splash of colour, and it also adds to how nice this looks, and adds to the whole theme of fantasy as well. And then I went and put a bajillion different clouds around. And with that, I think that's covered just about everything about the entire thing of this. History to it, there really is no history. There was just a competition on the server that was fantasy themed. I entered and somehow this thing got third. I mean, I don't know how, but I'm very happy it did. Another thing that I just want to cover before I do sign this video off though. Look, over there, well, that's the void. I was quite proud of that pun. Well, not pun, but sign. It looked good. and then there was just like a path that went over here. And then there's a path over this side which led up to what was going to be a door, and I was going to put a whole heap of stuff inside, and it was going to be brilliant, but I did run out of time for actually building this whole thing. But I'm pretty proud that I managed to get this whole thing done in about a week, because that's the time frame that each of us had. We had a week, and I was sat there on the last day about an hour before the contest closes, and I was still putting things together. And then, because, you know, fantasy theme, I added this. And a little seat and bench too, just so you could sit here and look at the view of this village. So basically, that's the entire thing of this. I don't know if anybody really wanted this video, but honestly, I felt proud enough of this build. I wanted to go and make a video and explain the whole thing behind it. So if you did enjoy this, please do let me know with a like, because hey, it lets me know you like it and that you want to see more weird and wacky stuff like this on the channel. And also, if you want some tutorials of how to build stuff, like builds like these simple houses, how to do the campfire stuff with the roof, how to just build that, maybe that plane over there that you can't quite see, but now you can. How to build a simple cloud, massive rainbow, who knows? Do let me know. But yeah, that's it for this video. Like it if you enjoyed, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Subscribe if you're new, and be sure to press that notification bell and set it to all, because then you'll get notified of all my recent uploads. And like I say with this whole subscribe thing, I'm trying to get to 400 subscribers before the end of the year, so hopefully if you press subscribe, that will help me out an absolute ton. But at the time of recording this, we're only about 4 away from 400, so if you got there by the end of the year, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much in advance. While you're at it, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment. Maybe you have some stuff about the builds, maybe you have some feedback on the video, what could be improved, what couldn't be improved, I guess, I don't know. Or maybe you just want to know how to build some of this stuff and you want to ask me how. Or suggest a future video idea, that's up to you. With the comments thing, feel free to go ahead and do any of that. I love to read your comments and I try to reply to as many as I possibly can. And until the next video, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. A goodbye. Now, why does that look so good? I mean, look at that for an aerial view. Man, I'm proud of this. I don't know why, but that seems to look good for some reason.